was trying to tell you it was like the Lord of the Rings.
Hunt for the Wilderpeople is directed by Taika Waititi and stars Sam Neill and Julian Denisona. And it's a 2016 action-adventure movie that was just released in my indie theater, so I just had to see it. And usually my indie theater is pretty empty, so I was pretty surprised to actually see this movie have people in it. Probably because I was not the only one that really was curious of how this movie would turn out. It currently holds a 98 or 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh, which is amazing for a indie movie, which is awesome. And Taika Waititi directed one of my favorite films of last year, What We Do in the Shadows, so that just added to the anticipation. And Taika Waititi definitely has his groove down because What We Do in the Shadows was amazing, Boy was amazing, and this movie was amazing. It's pretty much telling the story of Ricky. He's pretty much like a gangster that, you know, he's graffiti walls and stealing stuff. So the child protection, whatever they're called, puts him on a farm. And once a few things happen and the kid tries to run away, Sam Neill comes in and tries to find him. But he ends up breaking his ankle, so they are trapped out in the woods for weeks. And when they stumble upon a small cabin, they realize that they are on the run from the police. And they've been on the run from the police for months. And from beginning to end, this movie had me laughing so hard. I couldn't even wrap my mind around the screenwriters and how they came up with all of these witty jokes that they came up with.
Faulkner is Caucasian. Well, they got that wrong because you're obviously white.
Julian's character, Ricky, is pretty much the one that put in most of those jokes. They're not necessarily gross potty humor, they're genuinely funny, witty jokes, which we haven't seen in a comedy movie for so long. This movie is PG-13, and it has blood, it has cussing, it is just pretty much the perfect PG-13 movie. And Sam Neill, who starred in one of my favorite horror films, Digging Up the Marrow, I had no prior knowledge to the trailer that he was in this, and I'm usually pretty good at tracking the actors and what they're in, and I had no idea that he was going to be in this, so when I saw the trailer, I got ecstatic. Him and Julian Denisona have great chemistry. I mean, if you're going to make a buddy movie about this old dude and this little kid running off into the woods and sort of sounding kind of like a pedophile story, you're going to have to make them have chemistry. And that's one of the main jokes in this, is that Sam Neill's character is a pervert. So just kind of like being on the other side of the screen, looking at all these people calling him a pervert, and you just thinking, no, they're kind of cool, that just shows how perfect of a bond that the actors have. In this movie, you just can't not love it. This movie is adorable. It has so many small little winks to prior things in the movie that make you smile. It's pretty much the nice warm hug that movie, cinema, everything needed. It can be a bit jumbled at times, but you know what? Pretty much everything in this movie means something. You see a little shot of a dude taking a picture. That means something later on. In this film, there are a ton of things that you laugh at that you totally should not laugh at. And right at the end, it sort of starts taking a different turn, which I was so upset to see. But then, sort of at the end of that scene, it has such an adorable meaning and such a heartfelt ending that you forget about all of the bad things that have gone on. And there's even a bit of creature stuff in this, and the creatures look great. The CGI in this movie is not cheesy whatsoever. It obviously is CGI, you can't deny that. But for a small indie film with obviously a very tiny budget, it looks great. So from beginning to middle to end, I was laughing, I was crying, and I was pretty much feeling the bond between all of these characters, all in, an hour 45-minute runtime? So to keep this one short, Hunt for the Wilderpeople is one of the best films of the year, hands down. And the chemistry between pretty much everyone in this movie, even the police have funny chemistry, everyone in this movie is beyond funny. The ending is perfect, the pitch is perfect. So, I'm going to give The Hunt for the Wilderpeople an A+.